What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, talking a little bit of G2 here on the channel. It's something that I feel like just does not get a lot of updates nowadays, especially from Hasbro. And I'm just looking at G2 as a whole, at what Hasbro's done in terms of updates over the years for G2 in the modern era, and it's basically just a bunch of boring repaints. We don't get, we have occasionally, but nothing too crazy. I can't even really think of any original character G2 updates off the top of my head. That's how kind of minuscule it's been, and it's really a shame because I'm looking through G2 right now. I'm on TF Wiki, and this was something that really made me think about doing a video. Like, a lot of it's just been repaints. And we had that G2 subline a couple years ago at Walmart. I mean, it was cool getting all these nice repaints, especially that Toxitron. Like, we've been needing an actual Toxitron in the main line for well over a decade now. And it was nice to finally get one, even though it was locked behind a Walmart exclusive. But that wasn't even a G2 character. He was from Universe 2004, and he was animated in the fan pub comics and stuff. He wasn't even from G2, so that doesn't even really count. The repaints have been cool, don't get me wrong. But there's also repaints that are just flat out dumb, like repainting G1 Megatron, the Siege mold, into G2 Megatron, just totally ignoring that there's completely different design traits with the two characters from G1 and G2. Hopefully one day Hasbro does. I'm gonna just talk about some characters that I think Hasbro needs to do that are original molds, and in some instances original characters from the G2 line. And first one right off the bat, a regular tank mode green and purple G2 Megatron. Like, why haven't we gotten a faithful G2 Megatron? Like, it makes no sense. We had the Optimus a few years ago, which was a pretty mid figure if you ask me. The overall look of the robot mode was absolutely abysmal. But don't even get me started on that figure. It's just with how Hasbro is, when they do an Optimus or Megatron, the other version of that Optimus or Megatron follows suit not too long after. So I'm really surprised that's been like 3 years since that G2 Laser Prime, and we haven't gotten a proper Megatron to go with him. To further that topic, I mean, there's Rotor Force, there's the Laser Rods. We got Leadfoot a few years ago in that mediocre Wreckers subline, but again, that was a repaint of G1 Mirage. They didn't even retool him to give him his rotor weapon or anything. He was just a mediocre repaint of the Earthrise Mirage figure. And not to say that was a bad idea. I mean, they're really similar in design. You might as well just repaint them. But it's such a lazy repaint to the point where you don't even get his signature weapon that made Leadfoot a laser rod to begin with. And you've got all these crazy, or not laser rod, Rotor Force, like Manta Ray. I mean, look at this dude. He turns into one of those boats. Like, how many boat formers do you get nowadays? That would be sick to get as like a Deluxe or Voyager. Power Dive, I mean, he seems like he would just be another Rotor Storm type situation from Spinister, but if they made him a new mold at like a Voyager class, that would be a cool design to get. I would buy him. Ransack, he turns into like this World War II jet of some kind. I'm not too up on my airplane, so I don't know exactly what that is, but he's sick. And then you get into the Laser Rods. You would think we would have at least gotten Jolt, since that's kind of a popular name in the Transformers franchise. But nope, we haven't even gotten him yet. You look at Electro, who is really cool in his design. Imagine getting a Voyager class figure of this guy, Electro, here. Like, the truck mode is cool, the robot mode, the way it looks and it wears the truck mode parts on the robot mode is just so badass. And then you got Sizzle, who is another one of those old school cars, and that's a really cool paint scheme. It's kind of got like that orange kind of flame effect on the back of the car and everything. It is just really sick. And then you got Volt. They were all done in like these older cars, and just the designs that they went for. I mean, sure, these old figures are still kind of good for today's standards. Like, you look at these, they have waist swivel, they have universal hips, arms, knees, head articulation. You know, you could still track these figures down if you want them and put them on your Generations shelf, and they would fit in relatively well. You know, it's still getting updates of these that are easier to find and that are also more in line with the articulation and engineering that you get with Hasbro Transformers nowadays. That would be absolutely fantastic. And it's been over 30 years with these characters, and there's been absolutely nothing. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick of getting the same repaints of Optimus, Megatron, Aerial Bots, Combaticons, Devastator, Menasor, the Dinobots. Can we just get some original G2 molds and characters? Like, there's the fan base for it. If you're doing stuff from animated and Prime and the comics, you could do stuff from G2 that arguably has just as big of a love and interest to get stuff done. And not even just for like D-list characters, it's for the main characters too. Like, we haven't even gotten Dreadwing yet. He would be a perfect Commander class release. Heroes, Megatron, and Optimus Prime. Those are sick reimaginings of those two iconic characters that would make for some great Voyager class and Leader class figures. And y'all know Hasbro, they love to make excuses to do another Optimus and Megatron for the year. So how come we haven't gotten these yet? I don't know, man. It's kind of just all over the place with how they've been handling G2. We haven't gotten any Cyber Jets, even though Hasbro is saying they want to do more jet characters and deluxe jets. I mean, they have that Needle Nose mold. They could retool him into some Cyber Jets here and there, make a new mold for Cyber Jets. There was a leak a couple years ago, I think I covered on the channel, that we were going to be getting Cyber Jets at some point, but I don't know. It's been a few years since that leak, and I don't know if that's even going to happen or if that was even true. So, but Hooligan would be cool to get. You even have the GoBots, which was a fun little reference, and they were kind of like the Spy Changers from RAD 2001. They took those molds. There's a bit of a history behind that I'm not going to get into in this video, but, you know, you have all these characters, Blowout, Double Clutch. You even have a Megatron and Optimus from GoBots, Frenzy, Ironhide, Bumblebee, Sideswipe, Soundwave. All these different car formers and stuff from the GoBots. Like, imagine getting a silver... It would almost be like alternators with Optimus and Megatron. Like, imagine getting a silver car of Megatron and a red car for Optimus. Like, people act like Optimus has only ever been a truck, but, I mean, you look at G2, you look at alternators, there's been different iterations. Optimus has even been a tank and stuff, so Transformers is so unique. You can't just leave it at G1. You can't just pinpoint it to one specific thing. These characters are always changing throughout the iterations, and I feel like that's something Hasbro and everybody in charge with the franchise has lost over the last 10 years, I'd say. Hopefully, we get a lot of these crazy characters and designs from G2 at some point soon from Hasbro in the main line. Some of these Cyber Jets, GoBots, Auto Rollers, Laser Cycles, laser rods, you know, rotor force, all this cool stuff. The heroes, just so much. Dreadwing is so iconic for G2. It is so surprising we haven't gotten him yet as at least like a leader class, and you do as a companion. Was it Smoke Jumper, Smoke Screen or something? Do him as like a deluxe class separate release or something. But I don't know. At the same time, I do kind of want to defend Hasbro. They have been doing a lot of different iterations, and G2 hasn't been the main focus. It's been other stuff people want. I do understand that. I'm not here to say that hasn't happened. You know, if you're trying to like do all this different stuff, why not interject at least one G2 character like all these ones I've mentioned here in this video? But I don't know, guys. Hopefully we start getting some more relatively soon. I feel like they will, because, you know, they're running out of G1 stuff to redo at the moment. So I definitely do feel like G2 is going to be on the rise in recent years. So we're going to have to wait and see. But yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments below. How do y'all feel about the lack of original G2 stuff getting redone in the modern era from Hasbro? And yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye!